We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks. Louisiana residents are preparing for Hurricane Delta's landfall. Governor John Bel Edwards saying they're expecting the storm to hit in almost the same place Hurricane Laura landed in August. Due to the more precise forecast of the track, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey has canceled her mandatory evacuation order for Mobile and Baldwin counties. Our chief meteorologist Richard Scott is following the storm closely, of course. And where is it and how's it look, Richard?
Lynn, this is just surreal, really, what's happening here. This hurricane is so impressive. This is Delta, and we're seeing that eye feature. This is the visible satellite. We're looking down from space from our satellite, and you can see the structure of this hurricane. And again, just for reference, that's Brownsville, Texas, right there. This thing is moving almost due north towards the Louisiana Gulf Coast, and where this thing will make impact is almost the perfect spot, the exact spot Hurricane Laura hit back in August. Just unreal to see that. There's something we just don't see in terms of meteorology. It just doesn't happen. Two powerful hurricanes like that, and certainly our friends in Louisiana are about to deal with another blow, a hard blow at that in western Louisiana. This hurricane is larger now. It's gaining size and intensity. Wind sustained at 115 miles an hour. It's moving northwest to 12, now moving more north than west. But notice the track from the Hurricane Center. This comes up on southwest Louisiana Friday afternoon, and then it moves across west Mississippi as we go into the day on Saturday. As it gets closer to Alabama, we will have some impacts here locally across central Alabama. The main wind well back to the west of Louisiana and Mississippi. It will be breezy here on Saturday. Winds gusting about 30 to maybe 35 in spots during the day on Saturday. In terms of rainfall amounts, we're looking at generally 2 to 3 inches north of I-20. Areas south there about 1 to 2 inches with this event. And again, Alabama's Gulf Coast, the impacts there will be minor, but they will see some rain and breezy conditions along Alabama's coast. Winds there around 20 to 30 miles an hour from Mobile and Baldwin counties. Also got Christopher Pipkin, who is down in Lafayette, Louisiana. And Christopher, this is really just surreal. It's like deja vu.
Oh yes, definitely. It has been like deja vu, especially coming down in here because we were here at least a few weeks ago, about a month ago, whenever Hurricane Laura actually started to come into at least Lafayette and the southwestern part of Louisiana as a major hurricane. And just coming down here again for the second time during this hurricane season definitely gets surreal. I mean, just seeing a lot of the evacuation taking place and just a lot of the tarps, because people still have not recovered from Hurricane Laura down here, Richard, and it definitely is. You can definitely tell that Hurricane Laura was here still, and they're just now getting ready to get impacted again by Hurricane Delta. So definitely a sad and surreal moment here for Louisiana.
Now, Christopher, we talked on the phone earlier today, and you mentioned driving to Lafayette, the traffic coming back almost bumper to bumper.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was definitely a bumper to bumper all the way here, especially noticing it whenever I was coming into Louisiana from Jackson, Mississippi. And it just stayed that way pretty much the whole entire way, especially coming in all the way at least to Baton Rouge and then down to Lafayette, Louisiana, too. And I can only imagine how much worse it's going to be as at least the evacuation routes start to become at least more clogged. And we're just going to see a lot more of that as that hurricane does start to approach the coast now, which is now, at least if I'm correct, Richard, is it's Category 3 hurricane, a major hurricane, and expected to be a Cat 2 whenever it lands, right?
Yeah, Christopher, we're looking at Category 3 right now. It could actually continue to strengthen. We're looking at the visible satellite. This thing looks really impressive, and that is troubling to see this coming up on Louisiana coast. Does it look like people are taking this storm more serious compared to Laura as you're down there talking with people?
Yeah, so I did stop at a gas station earlier, and I noticed at least the buildings starting to get boarded up into the area, but definitely people are taking it seriously and are beginning to evacuate. Richard.
Hey, Christopher, thank you for that live report. We'll talk with you again coming up at 6 o'clock. Now let's go over to Lynn Brooks.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Tamika Alexander. Hurricane Delta has strengthened to a Category 3 storm. It has winds of 115 miles per hour as it turns toward Louisiana. The National Hurricane Center expects Delta to strengthen again over the next 24 hours. The storm is moving through the Gulf of Mexico and is expected to make landfall in southwest Louisiana late tomorrow afternoon. That's the same area where Hurricane Laura made landfall 6 weeks ago. Our very own Christopher Pipkin traveled to Louisiana during that storm, and he is back there now and joins us live with more. Christopher?
Hey, good evening, Tamika. We are live here in Lafayette, Louisiana, where we are tracking Hurricane Delta, which will make for the second hurricane to hit the area this season.
Preparations are now underway along the Louisiana coastline as they prepare for what will be the second hurricane to hit the state in a matter of weeks.
Kind of wish it was going somewhere else, but it doesn't look like it. Got to get all my loose stuff up.
On Thursday, the National Hurricane Center updated the track of Hurricane Delta, giving it a similar path as Hurricane Laura. And the recent hurricane impacted Louisiana in late August, destroying over 10,000 homes and damaging more than 35,000 others.
Not many homes or businesses escaped any damage.
Look, as tarps cover many structures still in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and with major evacuation orders underway in areas still recovering from Hurricane Laura and many structures totally ruined, officials are urging residents to stay prepared.
The advisory still shows that Assumption Parish will be in the wind field of tropical storm winds, sustained winds, so we encourage everyone to take that seriously and start making those preparations.
Now, again, this will make for the second hurricane to hit southwest Louisiana this season. And while Delta is not expected to become as strong, it is important to remember that many here are still recovering from Hurricane Laura, and it's going to make for a very sad situation. So reporting live here for Lafayette, Louisiana, I'm Christopher Pipkin.
Thanks, Christopher. And Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott is also watching Hurricane Delta. He joins us live with more. Richard.
Hey, Tamika, here's the very latest information. Winds sustained at 115. Hurricane hunters in the storm right now investigating the pressure and the wind speed. Looks like pressures continue to slowly fall. Wind speeds have stayed the same over the past 2 to 3 hours, but we may see a slight increase in the winds over the next 6 hours prior to landfall. Here, there are hurricane warnings for the Louisiana Gulf Coast, central and southwest Louisiana, where that area will be a hard hit by this hurricane. Here's the track from the National Hurricane Center. This comes in sometime Friday afternoon and Friday evening as a Category 2, possibly still a Category 3 storm. Then it's going to move into Mississippi on Saturday. Once it gets closer to Alabama, we'll begin to see quite a breeze developing on Saturday. I don't expect any major wind impact. It will be rather breezy, winds gusting about 30 to 35 over west and central Alabama. Mississippi, that's your higher wind, especially near and southwest of Jackson. Some damage there expected with power outages likely there Friday night into Saturday. But here locally, again, we are looking at those breezy conditions, and we've increased the rain amounts. Model data back in the ball game here in terms of seeing quite a bit of rainfall out of this, generally 2 to 3 inches near north of Interstate 20. South of there, 1 to 2 inches is something we actually need. We need the rainfall here locally. I do expect along the Alabama Gulf Coast breezy conditions, but no major impact there. Rain amounts generally around 1 to 2 inches. Now, Saturday, there could be a few isolated tornadoes across central and west Alabama midday through 9 o'clock Saturday evening. We'll talk more about that, plus your complete 7-day coming up in just a few minutes.
Talk about what's happening with the tropics. We've got a hurricane that's coming into the Louisiana Gulf Coast, and we are watching that carefully. Also have that potential for maybe a few tornadoes here locally. That'll come up on Saturday, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. And while the folks join us on Facebook, hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. We're coming up on the 5 o'clock news here in about 30 minutes or so, and I just want to let you know the latest, what we think is going to be happening heading into our Saturday. So I'll flip the camera around, and if you have any questions, comment on here. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Here's the hurricane. This is a Category 2. It's winds 105 miles an hour sustained. It's coming into the Louisiana Gulf Coast now. Very close to Cameron, Louisiana. That's where the Hurricane Laura hit back in August. A very similar location. So they certainly are dealing with some issues now. The heavy core of rain is over Louisiana. We do have showers and some thunderstorms over portions of west and central Alabama. But again, those today are scattered. Here's what the storm looks like on the satellite. And again, you see it's coming into the Louisiana Gulf Coast, moving north-northeast now at 14 miles an hour. I do want to show you the path, and again, what's going to happen, this thing's going to weaken quickly into a tropical storm, and then basically a remnant low across North Mississippi on Saturday, and as it gets closer to Alabama, that will bring the risk of some strong to severe storms here locally on Saturday. Here's what we're looking at. All of central Alabama is in a risk between midday and 9 o'clock Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. I think for west and southwest Alabama, there's going to be a higher area where there could be a better chance for a brief tornado or two. I don't expect an outbreak out of this, but I do think there will be a few tornadoes involved. So best word of advice Saturday, have a source of weather information that if you get a tornado warning in your area, you'll be able to get that warning and take shelter if needed. So again, the main threat, typically with landfalling tropical systems, once you're well removed from the damaging wind issues, the threat's tornadoes, and that's what we got tomorrow. So we do have that threat for a few isolated tornadoes midday through 9 o'clock. There could be some breezy winds with some of the storms roll through, but again, flooding is not expected with this. I'll tell you what, let me show you our Futurecast model while I got you on here, and this is showing how storms should evolve. And again, we'll have waves of showers and storms tonight, and during the day tomorrow, here comes the storms. This model is quite a bit ahead of schedule. In fact, this got the feeder band coming in by mid-morning on Saturday, and if that's the case, we may have to introduce a chance for a brief tornado in the morning hours. We'll go into the afternoon and you see what we got, these scattered thunderstorms, and these could become severe and they could rotate, and there could be a brief tornado or two. By around 9 o'clock, I think the chance of anything tornadic will have come to an end as cooler air kind of gets wrapped into the backside of the circulation. It's going to rain some through Sunday, but again, by Sunday, we do not anticipate any chance for severe weather. So again, all of our area is in a risk of some isolated brief tornadoes. I don't expect this to be an outbreak, but there is that possibility of a few tornadoes. So make sure you have a way of getting the warning, and if there is a tornado warning, act accordingly and do what you need to do to take shelter. So again, we'll be here watching us. You can always join us live on WVUA 23. Also, right here on Facebook Live, you can join us on that. So if we do get a tornado warning and you lose power, or if you're going to be traveling, you're not around the house, you can always watch our coverage. All right, hey, one encouraging thing is this event is quite interesting. In fact, the line of heavier rain that's moved across central Alabama this morning. This is part of that feeder band we've been talking about coming across Alabama. This thing is way ahead of schedule. In fact, about 6 hours ahead of schedule. It's incredible. Last night, our high-resolution model data, the best data we have, showed this stuff coming in at midday, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. And this started in West Alabama around 5 a.m. Began to rain in West Alabama. So this thing has really come in quickly. So, hello everybody commenting on here. Hope you guys are having a great Saturday morning. Hey, I want to mention on WVUA coming up at 11 o'clock, we got CTKO, Crimson Tide Kickoff Show coming up. So if you want to watch some sports stuff, it's going to be on there. So hope you can join us on TV. But basically, just want to give you an update of what's happening. We are in the process of updating graphics and updating what we think is going to happen. So what you're looking at on the screen there's radar. We've got a band of heavy rain coming across Alabama. What we're watching is areas generally to the along and east of I-65 and to the south of I-20. That's the spot we're keeping an eye on for any rotating thunderstorms. But again, there's just not much happening right now in terms of severe weather risk. In fact, for West Alabama, if you're in Tuscaloosa to Demopolis, I don't see much of a threat at all for the rest of the day. This thing has kind of gotten on through here a lot faster than expected, which is good. The concern was originally that this line would come in the peak heating hours this afternoon whenever we had a little instability, and that would be a concern where we could see some rotating thunderstorms. So let me move this around just a bit. And I'm using about 3 computers over here. You should see it in the Weather Center. It's quite chaotic, as usually is during active weather days. So we've updated this map here, and again, this shows the green area representing a very low-end chance for a severe storm between now and 6 o'clock. The yellow area you see generally east of I-65 and south of Interstate 20 is where there's a slightly better chance for severe storms. So that's what we're looking at right there. So again, the news looks better for our area. In terms of the severe weather risk, it doesn't look as impressive as it once did. And I'm not complaining at all. I'm happy to see that. We did have some tornado warnings back in South Alabama earlier this morning, and those were down around the Mobile area, way over South Alabama. No major issues across our part of the state. Had a beneficial rain. This has been a great rain event. We kind of needed that. Often October is really dry here in Alabama, and we'll take whatever rain we can get. A lot of deer hunters are planting their fields now, and we're actually going to be planting on tomorrow and then again next weekend. So we need the rain ourselves to help that grass grow. So looking forward to that Also, just on personal note, I raise honeybees. Some of you guys know that. I'm a beekeeper, and this is the time of the year you see the goldenrod. You see all the golden flowers out there now, and that's good to see some rain this time of the year on that. It helps the nectar flow, helps the bees go into wintertime. They need those resources. But anyway, so again, we're just talking about the weather. If you're just now joining us on Facebook, it looks like the severe weather risk is quite a bit lower compared to what we were originally thinking yesterday. Reason for that, this is getting on through here a lot faster than expected before we have a chance to heat up. Understand instability and wind shear is a bad combination. You don't want to see that. And we don't have that. All right, so let me look at some of the comments here. And goodness, got a lot of folks from different parts of Alabama watching on here. And let's see, who all we got on here? Sherry, hey Sherry Davis, good to see you on here. Monica. See, Jenny over in Bibb County. You guys are getting some heavy rain over there now. Looks like the core of that's coming through you as we speak. Let's see, Gary Spencer over in Taylorville. Hey, Lisa Smith, good to see you on here. Got Judy Elmore, good morning to you. Let's see. Hey, April Beverly Phillips. I grew up with April, and you know, good news is I know you get concerned down in Marengo County. I think it's over with for you. I don't see any threat for you in Marengo County. This has kind of moved on east of you already. So good for you there. Let's see, Jenny. We're going to have rain this afternoon. Yes, I do think we'll see some more rain showers come through. I don't think we see any risk of severe weather. In fact, what's going to happen, what's left of Delta, which is now tropical depression in Mississippi, it's going to swing across Alabama later tonight. That'll bring more showers and kind of that light rain and mist for a while. Let's see. Adrian, you're asking, is it going to change around 3 or 4 in Tuscaloosa? Hey, I think we're going to have some showers in the afternoon here in the Tuscaloosa area, some light drizzle and all occasionally, but I don't think we're going to have any severe weather here in Tuscaloosa at 3 o'clock. If anything changes, I'll pop on here and let you know, but I certainly don't see any sign of anything changing right now. Let's see. Hey, Vicki over in Duncanville, Alabama. David Rislin Bennett watching from Tuscaloosa. Got Michelle in Northport. And Charlene over in Moundville. All right, so yeah, just give you a quick update. The severe weather risk is looking a lot lower now. Looks like mainly areas near and east of I-65. Right now, if you're looking at the screen, we've got a band of heavier rain from east Tuscaloosa County to central Bibb County, Chilton, down towards portions of Dallas County near the Selma area towards Alabama River. But you see over west Alabama for Tuscaloosa to Demopolis up towards Hamilton, really the heavier rain's gone. We'll get some showers, I think, today, this afternoon, but it looks like anything severe should be east of there. So just want to give you an update what's happening there. So, again, we got Crimson Tide Kickoff Show coming up. Chelsea Aaron is in. She's going to do a CTKO while I kind of monitor radar, make sure we're okay there. Again, I'm not saying it's over with. There's still a small chance for a brief spin-up or two, but we're mainly talking about along and to the east of where the line is now. So I don't see any sign of any redevelopment behind this. We'll watch radar trends carefully for West Alabama, but again, it certainly looks like the chance of anything additional is very, very low. So that's good. This thing kind of helps stabilize things, and that's a wonderful thing. This line of rain, what this is part of a feeder band feeding into the remnant circulation of Delta that's west of us, and this thing kind of got kicked out to the east really fast. In fact, I was up at about 4 a.m. this morning and looked at radar and said, my goodness, this is coming into Alabama already. And that point is just basically some rain showers, so we were happy to see that. So I've got to run, let's see. Oh, yeah, all right. Hey, yeah, I guess I need to mention this Alabama football game over in Oxford. Good news for that, yes, it's going to rain some. There'll be some light rain, but there's no chance of any dangerous weather during football time. Kickoff's at 6:30. As you know, the time was moved from 5 o'clock originally to 6:30. Just allow the weather to get out of there. In fact, let me pull on the radar loop and take you over there. And hopefully it won't get grainy on your screen here. I'm going to try to show this. All right, so you see the remnant circulation across Mississippi. And yes, it's still raining in Oxford, but the heavier stuff will be gone by then. Still some drizzle and some mist, but that should be about it. You see the line of rain and thunderstorms coming eastward across Alabama. This is moving fast now. So again, for West Alabama, I think our threat's pretty much over. We'll keep a close eye on things next few hours, but again, we're watching now for basically I-65 and points east. That's where we're watching. So let me, I've got to run, get some things done. Hope you guys have a great Saturday, and I'll do another update a little later on this morning just to kind of give you another update. If we do have a tornado warning, I want to mention this, you can always join us live on TV on WVUA 23 and also right here on Facebook Live. So if we do get a tornado warning this morning into this afternoon, we'll be live on TV and on here and again on our website. So just multiple ways you can get us there. Let's see. Quickly, hey, Brody, you're over in Jefferson County. I think you're okay in West Jefferson County. I don't see anything approaching you other than that line of heavier rain. It looks like anything severe should be to your east or to your south.